But that's okay. Are you on that Japanese grind as your 2023 New Year's resolution? Or maybe you've been learning for a few months or years now and haven't made much progress? Well, look no further. Actually, you should keep looking up other tips after this, but watch this first. I have 4 great tips to improve your Japanese writing, reading, listening, and speaking while engaging in fun content you already enjoy. VTubers. A little context about me is that I've been learning Japanese in an academic setting since middle school and graduated college with a bachelor's in Japanese. And now I am currently living and working in Japan. So if anyone knows anything about how long and difficult it is to learn a second language while being completely uninspired to self-study, I'm the yokai to ask. But ever since I got into VTubers around 2020, my Japanese has improved dramatically through the application of even minor real-world usage. Here's how. Tip 1. This may come as a no-brainer, but watch Japanese VTubers. You may already know some from clips like the famous Usada Pekora laugh, Kagami Hayato being a metalhead with Ike Evelyn, and Kanae for being, well, Kanae. Kanae. If you're still at the early stages of learning Japanese, don't feel like it's too hard for you. Watch clips with subtitles and really focus on certain words. Streamers use a set of internet terms that you don't really find anywhere else, but it can be a good way to pick up on fun vocabulary, which will eventually spread out into grammar and useful daily language. In fact, you probably have already picked up on the words like totsumachi, oshi, zatsudan, and slang like donma and otsukare. People use these words all the time, and you're in fact learning Japanese if you understand them. Of course, this isn't the end goal. If you can understand a good amount of spoken Japanese, but it may be a little bit too fast for you, try hopping into a live stream and listening to the conversation, and then look at chat to see if anyone's live translating it into English. If what they're translating is the same as what you are understanding, congrats! You're practicing Japanese. Make note of anything that you didn't understand on a piece of paper or a Word document and search it up later. I've come to find out that the more I make mistakes or not know something while facing real-world consequences, being getting lost during the live stream, I tend to hold on to it longer than if I were to study flashcards or vocab from Genki or Tobira. Personally, I think listening comprehension is the most important part of learning a language. You can learn to write and memorize vocab all you want, but if you can't understand what someone is asking you in the moment, there's no way you can respond. Tip 2. Now, if you want to take it a step further than listening and understanding, try becoming a live translator or clipper. Sometimes when learning a language, you get to a point where you don't have to translate everything from one language to another in your head. You can simply understand what they're saying. However, I think it is good practice to really hunker down and be able to accurately select words in English that represents the Japanese phrase you're hearing. A lot of Japanese is vague and have very different meanings. For example, yabai or egui. They can be words that are either very positive or very negative. You should be able to differentiate the meaning and form the English equivalent of the sentence without struggling too much. Trust me, this may seem counterintuitive to what most people tell you when it comes to letting go of your first language to learn a second one, but it's very helpful when it comes to forming sentences on your own in speech and in writing. If you like small Japanese VTubers and are able to catch their live streams, maybe start translating in chat what they're saying. It doesn't have to be everything they say, it's good to also be able to summarize while keeping the important points. I did this for about 4 months in a VTuber named Kamito's chat when he was at like 30k subs, and there was a strong international fan base at the time. I think it really helped me feel confident when those fans thanked me for the translations, even if they weren't always 100% correct. I even started translating to Japanese when Kamito did English-only streams, and then the Japanese fans were very supportive of my efforts. If translating live is too much pressure, no worries. Clipping has become more popular as a means of supporting your faves, but a lot of channels are dedicated to popular VTubers only. You can be the difference. Show some love to the smaller indie Japanese VTubers by clipping their content and translating it for the world to see. It doesn't have to be perfect at first. You will learn with time and look back and cringe at how you translated things, but that's proof of your development. If clipping is out of your abilities, try live tweeting translations instead. All of these options are great ways to build a community on top of practicing Japanese. Tip 3. If you're at a point where understanding is decent, but you're struggling to come up with answers, try joining a fan Discord of a Japanese VTuber or find a line group where Japanese fans of English VTubers are and start talking. Speaking Japanese is intimidating if you're new to it, but with typing, there are beautiful things like Google Translate and jisho.org to help you along if you're unsure. Interacting with other fans is a great way to make friends while also staying on top of things related to your oshi. The more you get to reading and typing in Japanese, the more you will come to recognize patterns of speech, common phrases, and grammar vocab that textbooks fail to teach you. Eventually, you will get to the point where you don't have to second guess yourself every few words and will start typing as if you would in English. Again, these experiences will stick in your head way longer than any textbook self-studying will, since you can put it to use almost daily. I made some good friends in the Kamito Discord server back at the time when I was active there because a lot of us were active Japanese learners and the rest were actually Japanese people. Also, now that Meloko, Alira, and even Shu and Sunny do Japanese-only streams sometimes, take this chance to type in Japanese in their live chats. There's no shame in practicing a language in a safe place like that. Tip 4. If you are a VTuber or you are in a Discord server with other Japanese fans, hop into a voice call or live stream only in Japanese. By now, your Japanese confidence should be boosted somewhat by following the past 3 steps. Speaking with friends shouldn't come as scary. Of course, it might be intimidating at first, but once you get chatting and the vibes are good, you will loosen up. The phrases you've been picking up just by being inside the community will show up without even thinking about it, and it should feel pretty cathartic in your Japanese learning experience. I had the opportunity to voice chat with the Japanese Kamito fans at the time, and they're around the same level as me with speaking English, so it felt like we had a mutual understanding of being patient with each other and providing hints in our respective languages. I don't want to say that this is a rare or unachievable experience for most people, because it's not. Do you see how many English VTubers are using Japanese-inspired names? It's because they are likely also Japanese learners. If you can find a server or even find a small EN streamer who is practicing Japanese, there's your chance. Go make friends and practice together. Those are my 4 tips, and now that you've heard some ways you can study Japanese simply through enjoying the hobby you already spend an ungodly amount of time doing, I hope you can go out there and work hard to create a more inclusive environment that spans beyond language barriers. If you are just starting out on your Japanese language journey and found these tips too hard for you, then let me know in the comments and I might make another video for beginners and what to focus on while enjoying VTubers. That's all for me for this video. If you like my content, please like and subscribe. Also follow my other socials and catch me streaming.